Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Reality Talk with Feva Daniels. I am your host, Feva Daniels. And today, well, not to just today, but every time you guys tune in, each and every Thursday at 7 p.m., we will be having topical discussion, not topical, but topic discussions with real people about real life situations that go on. The objective of this show is to just help everybody out there in the world that we live in understand that regardless to what you are allowed to experience in your lifetime, that there are always upsides to your down. And so the people that come on will be giving you a brief rundown of some of the things that they have experienced in life, encounters that they have had in life that was not always the best, and how they end up coming out on the other end victorious and moving forward, even though they were going through, even while they go through. So, you guys, today we are honored to have Sarah Mae Brown with Destiny Over Diagnosis. Hey, you guys, we see you guys coming in. We are so grateful that she has graced our show with her presence, and I want you to welcome her. And we're going to dig a little deeper into the life of Sarah Mae Brown. I know you guys read the inscription that talked a little bit about who she is and a tad bit of what she has gone through, but we're going to let you tell it yourself, Sarah. This is Sarah Mae Brown. Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Sarah Mae is about 34 years old. Are you?
I am.
Okay, because I know she got a birthday coming up real soon. So right now, she's 34 years old. She's a wife. She's a mother. But she has not always been all of those things. So let's just talk about who Sarah Mae was.
Oh, well, Sarah Mae was, I don't know, a gullible, naive, troubled little teenager, I guess, or young adult. I went through a lot to get to where I am today. It just did not. I just didn't wake up like this. Well, you probably know, but they don't. I was diagnosed with epilepsy about 17 years ago. So that's where the fear came in. I was a scared, little gullible, naive, little scatterbrained girl that was just trying to figure out my way, basically. Yeah.
And that's a lot. How old were you when you started to notice difficulties? I know that I was really young when I started noticing that life wasn't always fair. Around how old were you when you started noticing that life wasn't fair, things that go on in life, it's not necessarily fair, but you're chosen for it?
That's a big question because I think I always knew life wasn't fair. Okay. I think I discovered that as a little kid, just watching just the difference between my life and other people's life and then Hollywood.
Okay.
So that's what really made me understand, life is different for everybody. Life is not fair. Life is however, it comes to you. It took me a long time to understand that life is what you make it.
Yeah.
I thought life is what you're dealt.
I did too.
I thought whatever came to you, that's what you deal with, you roll with it, that's your life.
Because they have these old sayings, play the deck you've been, play the cards you've been dealt. And I used to say, man, why have to, I want to throw this hand in. Like, I don't want this deck anymore. Let me get a whole new one, So, tell us a little bit about I know you had said that you were a people pleaser.
Yes.
Did you start that like when you were younger?
I think, I feel like, yes, I started to be a people pleaser when I was a little girl. Like, I just always wanted to make somebody happy, make them smile, just be the best. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And that turned into, bringing trauma to my life, because I'm looking to please everybody. I'm looking to just make everybody smile. I'm trying to just, not make anybody upset, not ruffle any feathers. But it took me to come to my healed wholeness to understand that I don't people please. That is the weak part of it.
Yeah.
I had to understand that I'm a servant.
You're a servant.
I'm a servant for the kingdom. So once I understood that was not my fault, that was my power.
Yeah.
And I started using it for positive. So now I'm not walking around gullible and naive and being taken advantage of, and people able to tell me just anything and get away with it. I'm not walking in that space no more. I turned that over to discernment. I'm able to decide, hey, is this what real or fake?
Because the streets called discernment, real, recognize real.
Yeah, so I had to turn that over, and now I stand in my power of being a servant, and I'm making those choices, and nobody's making those choices for me, and it's in the right space.
Yeah.
Now, when I was a people pleaser, when I was in the wrong space of just doing it to get a response out of the person versus doing it to get fulfillment from me.
Yeah.
That's the difference between people pleasing and serving.
And serving.
Yeah. Yeah. So it took me a while to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I have that same type of spirit. I have always been a servant. So, but I have always been a people pleaser. People pleasers will harm themselves.
Yes.
To make sure the next person is okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought the whole people pleasing thing up because that was something that I had dealt with for many years, is worrying about whether you were going to be okay versus whether it was taking too much out of me to help you be okay. And now when it's all said and done, I am no longer okay. So it's okay to people please out of the heart of servitude, but when you people please and you become destroyed from making sure you're taking care of people, that ain't really how it was designed.
Yeah, because I've been and gave, and then in the end
now you
of the night, I'm completely depleted. I'm on the floor looking crazy.
A wreck.
And there's nobody to give back to me. So serving, when you're serving, you're operating in a space of giving out of your heart space. And most of the time when you're serving somebody that can give back to you.
Absolutely.
So you will never be depleted because it's an even trade.
It's like a filling station.
Yeah.
We're filling each other up. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about some obstacles that you have been faced with and how you overcome them. Overcame them.
I think the biggest obstacle is when I was diagnosed with epilepsy.
How old were you?
I was 17. I was 17 years old, yes. I was 17 years old, and I was pregnant with my daughter. Shout out to Trinity. I was pregnant with Trinity, and I think I was about 8 months pregnant, and I had my first seizure. Let me take it back. I was probably 7 months pregnant, and I had my first seizure. And then I had another seizure at 7 months. And then that's when the doctor told me, oh, you have pregnancy epilepsy. Some women get that. And, after a while, after you have the baby, you won't have any more seizures and you'll be fine. And I was like, I cannot wait to have this baby.
Yes.
Because it was so crazy having seizures. I had never even heard of a seizure. Never heard of it.
But you started experiencing.
Yes, never heard of it. Never seen nobody with it. So I was just like, okay. So I had my daughter and I began to have seizures still. And they was more aggressive. And they began to take a toll on my life. And now I'm graduated from high school. I have a newborn baby. And I'm under 24-hour surveillance by a nurse. Mm-hmm. I had a nurse. And then my nurse would rotate out with friends and family. And that was the way I lived my life for about 6 months. My daughter was almost 3 months before I was able to get alone time with her by myself. And I was able to get partial with her because I was having such violent seizures that, the state of Missouri, they took my license away. Mm-hmm. And here I am. I'm now at 18. All my friends are going to college. All of them are getting their own apartments and they're living life. And I'm sitting here like, what is this life? Like, what is this? Like, I don't want this. And I think that was my first attempt at taking my own life. Yes. I took pills, and I didn't want to be here. I felt like, my daughter would be so much better without me.
Yeah.
I feel like this is, I struggled and went through so much as a kid to get to adult life, and it was worse. And I'm like,
that's what they don't realize.
It was worse than what I expected. I expected it already be hard, but I wasn't expected to be in prison. Yeah, I felt like I was in prison because I couldn't do anything, and so that was
in prison inside of your own body. Your body had betrayed you.
My body betrayed me, and I was in prison into the fact that I had to report every little single thing to the nurse, and every little thing, like I couldn't take a bath. I only could take wash-ups or, 3-minute showers because I couldn't stand in a place like that in the shower so long because I could hit my head on the porcelain or, so many different things. Yes. So it was so much. I had to rely on people to drive me back and forth around. Just everything that I was expecting to happen went a whole different way. But mind you, I was responsible. I was a very responsible teenager. Yes, I was pregnant at 17. That mistakes happen. But my daughter is not a mistake. But, mistakes happen. So I was very responsible. So when I graduated from high school, I was locking the door to my own house. You know what I'm saying? At high school. Yeah. I was driving a car. My mom and my sister had got me a car. I had a little raggedy little something, but it was getting around and people was getting rides. So it was mine. So I thought I was doing everything right to live an okay life. And it just didn't work like that for me. And it took me a long time to get over that.
That's a lot. And so how are you now with the epilepsy? Because like Sarah just stated, she was 17 years old when she first started experiencing the hardships and the extreme drawbacks. Because you're young, you just having a baby, and you were pregnant with her when you found out you were epileptic. Like, that has to be a huge blow in the gut, like tremendously. So how are you now?
Now, I am healed, delivered, set free, and made whole.
Come on now.
I am 6 years seizure free.
Hey.
With no medicine. Yes.
That is what's up.
Yes. And so, I walk in my truth.
Yes.
With my epileptic. It was times where I didn't tell nobody. It took me 10 years to tell a soul. It was just only the people
what
around
you was
me.
Dealing with.
Yeah, I would have friends. I would meet people, at different jobs, or I used to love going to poetry because I used to write poetry, recite poetry, and they used to like, go up there, come up, we want you to come up and recite a poetry, a poem. And I'm like, no, because I don't know what's gonna happen to me once I get in front of the lights. I don't know what's gonna happen to me once I get in front of the people. And so I was just like, no, no, I didn't know what was gonna happen to me. So I would just renounce it. I met people, and then I would just disappear. I would just disappear for like weeks or months at a time. I'm like, Dad, what happened to you? You fake. You just disappeared.
That's how that went.
And I was like, oh, I'm not fake, and I was disappearing because I felt ill. Yeah. So I'm in the middle of a battle with my epilepsy because when I have seizures, I swell up, I lose muscle memory in my arms and in my legs, and sometimes I can't walk up and down steps, and it's been times where I bust blood vessels in my eyes, and my eyes have been shut, because of muscles that pop because of the seizure, or I've bitten my tongue up so bad that it takes me a while to be able to eat again. Yeah. So people was thinking I was fake because I was disappearing, but I didn't want people to know my truth. Yeah. I felt like for somebody to know that about me, they would, one, treat me different, a client, a patient, or they would look at me weird because I didn't know nobody else that had seizures. Yeah. So it was kind of like a unicorn. Now, standing in this age and in this realm, I know it's more common, but back then, a little chocolate girl from Jenny's, like, people like, what? You have what? Seizures? Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But back then, yeah. So I would just disappear. Now, after 10 years, I've told people, like, I went on Facebook one day and I just wrote a status and I just told everybody, like, I battle with epilepsy. I'm an epilepsy warrior and I will defeat this monster. And, I just went on a rampage. And when I did that, probably like 10 people on my friends list said, me too. Oh, wow, I never knew that. People inboxed me. You gave me so much strength to come out and tell my story. Wow. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, people close to me was telling me, like, people that I would see in passing or text with, they was like, yeah, I have seizures too.
We all deal with
something.
Not necessarily hidden diseases, but some people like us, we have blind diseases. Mm-hmm. But you know what? You said something. She said something that struck a chord with me, because way before I even got sick, I was just working. And I went from hanging out all the time and chilling with my friends to now I'm a busy bee. I'm working and I'm doing something that is exciting and fulfilling. And all of my friends said, you're being fake. So that just goes to show that we can't allow ourselves to believe that just because a person isn't as responsive as what they were at one point in our lives, that means they're being fake, that they're jealous, that they hate us, that they don't love us. People are going through real life situations. And in that moment, in that time, if your people ain't responding the way that they used to, ask yourself, is this normal? And if it ain't normal, won't you call and check on them? See how they doing. Yes. Because you will be so amazed to know what your neighbor, your best friend that you holding a grudge against, that you haven't spoken with in a while, your cousin that you grew up with, and y'all were best cousins growing up, but something happened, a tide turned to make you and that person kind of go in opposite directions. Whatever the circumstance, your mother, your father, your sister, whoever, whatever. Stop. Think about them, pray about them, and give them a call. You'll be surprised to know that they're experiencing half the things they're experiencing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's a lot, Sarah. I know a lot of people go through things when they're, like for me, I got MS. I got MS when I was 29 years old. So I kicked it when I was 17, I was 19, 24. I was $2 Tuesday in it. I had the time of my life. But I didn't get a chance. I did get an opportunity to experience that without trauma in my body, and so I commend you for being able to take a licking and keep on ticking, because a lot of times we're seeing it every day that people are getting struck down with some type of disease, illness, ailment, or what have you, and it is taking over their lives. It is taking full control of their lives. They have absolutely no idea how to climb up out the mud. Yes. So kudos to you for just not giving up, because that's a lot to deal with at a young age.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
And raising your baby.
Yes.
So
yes.
That make you even more victorious.
Yes, I had to. I appreciate the kudos, but it just was something that I had to activate inside of me. It doesn't matter how many people told me, oh, you got this, or you can do it, or, no matter even what the word told me, you're more than a conqueror. You are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath. Despite what the word was saying, I still had to activate that word and that power inside of Sarah, inside of Sarah Mae. I had to activate that. So, yeah.
So you mentioned at some point you had a lot of unsaid sorries. What does that mean?
Well, every portion of my life, I title it.
Like a book?
Like a book.
I see a book coming, you guys. I see a book in the making.
Like a book, yes. I title it like a book. And sometimes that chapter is years. Yeah. And sometimes the chapter is a few months. And I've had chapters that's a day.
Okay.
But somehow inside of you, when you're standing in your truth and you're standing in your healed space, you'll know when it's a chapter. Yeah. You know when it's passing through. You know when it's over. You know when it's behind you. And sometimes I name the chapter while I'm in it. Sometimes I name the chapter when I'm going in it. And sometimes I have to name the chapter when I'm out of it. Like, whoo, that was called.
Right.
You know. And so Unsaid Sorry was a chapter that I lived in for a little bit, where I was hurting so bad from things that has happened to me, that I've done to myself, that I've allowed to happen to me, that people have done to me. And one day I was just so furious with what was happening. I was like, I'm owed an apology. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, somebody need to tell me sorry, because I didn't deserve that. I'm a good person. I'm a good woman. I'm a good mother. I was a good wife. I was a good friend. I was a good kid. I was a good granddaughter. Whatever. I was a good. So I was a good niece. I was good. I'm going around getting upset with my life because of now I'm standing in a place where I feel like somebody owed me something.
Yeah, somebody slighted you.
Yeah. I'm like, somebody owed me an apology. And so I'm walking around like, let me first say sorry to me.
Yeah. That's healing.
Yeah. So I apologized to myself. And then I went on to start finding people that I needed to say sorry to.
Yeah.
And as I went on to tell these people sorry, I realized a lot of them people didn't even know what I was saying sorry for.
Yeah.
But it was something that I
within
knew.
yourself.
It was a part of my healing.
Yeah, that's powerful.
And so as I addressed them, I had the aha moment that some people may not even know they did these things to me, because it's two sides to every story.
Every last one of them.
So I'm like, okay, they may not even know they hurt me like that. So some of these sorries may never get said. Because some people, they may know they did it, but they don't even know. They don't even care. Like, they don't think that they owe you an apology. They don't, they're not going to even accept that they did it. Some people be trying to block it out like it never happened.
Like it never happened. Because
I didn't do that to you.
Confronted with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to be confronted with what they did to you, how they hurt you, how they harmed you, how they damaged you. Their toxicity rolling over in your life. They don't want to be confronted with that. It's okay if I choose to say I'm sorry to you, but it ain't okay for you to come back and expect an apology from me. Like, what if I didn't think I did any wrong?
Mm-hmm. Or what if you don't even want to accept that you that monster?
That you that monster.
That you that monster. So one day I wrote down a list of the people that I felt like had offended me enough to affect my life.
Okay.
So it was people that offended me, and then it was people that offended me enough that affected my life, affected my everyday life, affected my everyday attitude, affected my everyday motion.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like this person is the reason why I don't go to this store. This person is the reason why I don't drink coffee.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This person is the reason why I don't deal with Geminis. You get what I'm saying?
I don't go to the movies in this location.
Yeah. Or this person is the reason why I don't eat ramen noodles.
Because that's all I ate. So much power.
They got power that they don't even know they had. So I wrote down the list, and I'm just making an example of what I mean by affecting my life. So I wrote down an example, because it was people that was affecting the way I parent my child.
Yeah.
They was having that much power over me because of what they had done to me, or what they said to me, or how they did me. So one day I wrote down the list of the people that affected my life, and I looked at the list, and I said, I have to accept the unsaid sorry.
Yeah, hey, come on now.
If I want to be healed,
that's good.
If I want to be delivered, if I want to be set free, if I want to be made whole, because that's the objective right there for me. I want to be healed, delivered, set free, made whole. And so I'm like, okay, well, what matters more to me? What they did to me, or what I'm trying to do?
What I'm trying to do. Come on now.
And so I said, I may never get an apology, but that won't stop.
So you learned to be okay with the unsaid sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I named that chapter The Unsaid Sorry. And I closed it up and put it on
and moved on.
Put it on away.
I read a book back when I was like about 14. I don't know. I was just a little old soul. I read all kind of books, and I started practicing all kind of things as a child. When I was about 14 years old, I read a book called The Power of Forgiveness by Joyce Myers. And I'm going to tell you guys what I learned. It was crazy because I didn't know. I knew the reason why I went into reading the book, but I didn't realize the outcome that I would get from it. Joyce Meyer said that the word says to forgive in three parts. The first thing you do is you ask for forgiveness from God for holding on, harboring bad feelings over whatever it is that has taken over your emotions about a certain subject. The second person you forgive is yourself for holding on to all of that hurt, that pain, that trauma, that insecurity, that the shame, or just the abuse. And the third person you forgive is the person who committed the act against you. Now, the tricky part about the third forgiveness is you do not have to verbally forgive them. You do not have to go up to them to forgive them. Sometimes the trauma was that deep to where I don't even want to see you ever again in my life because what you put on me was too much to be able to stand before you. Because if I stand before you, there's no telling what I will probably do to you. So I'm going to sit in my domain and I'm going to say a little prayer. God, I forgive this person for whatever they did to me. And I don't, it's not going to be a part of me no more. I wish them nothing but the best of luck in life and love. But as for me and my house, I'm breaking free. So you forgive me, I'm going to forgive me, and I forgive him. We done. It's a powerful thing when you're able to actually go back to the person who committed the act against you and say, I forgive you. I forgive you. They might look at you and say, like she said, forgive me for what? Like, or even forgive me. Sometimes we don't even realize that that was a test directly from our Father, that it wasn't necessarily the thing that we're asking for forgiveness from. It wasn't necessarily something that vexed the other person. They may not even realize that it happened, or they may never even take an offense to it. It's just that it's a part of your test, and you standing up and openly forgiving, asking for forgiveness for an act that you committed, frees you and helps you get to the next level in life. And you, at that moment, have passed the test. Mm-hmm. So like Sarah Mae said, you're going to close that chapter and you're going to move on to the next level.
Yes,
all right. Okay.
Yes,
okay. So tell us about Sarah Mae that we have before us today. Tell us about destiny over diagnosis.
The Sarah Mae that you have here today stands here in her truth. I have come to terms with what my purpose is. And it took me a long time to get there. It wasn't like I woke up and like, I'm gonna this is my purpose. I'm gonna tell people, you can be bigger than what you're diagnosed overnight. Yeah, no. And it was plenty of obstacles to get here. Yeah. Plenty of obstacles to get here. It wasn't easy to even get to the launching part of it. And because anything that you do that's powerful, can we safely say that this a powerful movement for people to put their destiny over their diagnosis? Yeah. Yes. So anything
it is.
Anything that's
I have a diagnosis.
Yeah.
And I have to fight all the time. Even just for a second. Last week when I did the show last week, I was so sick, like maybe an hour before the show was going on. And I had gotten so sick and worried because I knew we were set to film in like 45 minutes. I called Sarah Mae. I'm like, girl, no, I didn't even call her. I text her. I said, girl, I don't feel good. I'm about ready to tell my 14-year-old daughter to do my makeup because at that time my hands was trembling so bad and my phone rang just like that. And she commits praying, and I just was surrendering to everything that I was hearing because what I was hearing was much more powerful than what I was feeling. And I wasn't going to allow my internal feelings to capsize me, flip my ship, and have me out here bad. So I had to take control of what I was feeling and know that my destiny was greater and bigger than my diagnosis. So, man, destiny over diagnosis. Tell us a little bit more about it.
So Destiny Over Diagnosis is an organization that is not for profit. And it's an organization that the Lord put in my belly. in the middle of a struggle. We was in the middle of a global pandemic.
Yes, we were.
And I remember when the Lord dropped this in my spirit to do this, I was seeking the Lord because we was in a crazy situation that we needed like a miracle. We needed a miracle to get out of. And I'm like, Lord, I'm praying one day. I'm like, Lord, help us. We need a miracle. We need to get past this situation. It's only you that can get us through this, ... And the Lord said, open up an organization called Destiny Over Diagnosis. I'm like, I said, fix the...
Hey, listen, guys, you're so random sometimes.
Lord, I need you to fix this situation. And he said, be there for my people.
Yeah.
Serve my people. Show them what I've shown you. And I'm like, okay, Lord, but how we gonna get out? And then he continued to drop commandments to the purpose that he gave me. Every day, all day. Every day he gave me the reason, he gave me the cause, he gave me the effect. And I was like, okay. And as I began to walk in what he told me to do, my situation just dissolved itself.
Yeah. So being obedient.
Obedience is better than sacrifice. So watch my situation dissolve itself. And then now all I have to focus on is the mission that he gave me. So just to tell you, that's the backdrop of DOD. So just to give you a little bit about it, Destiny Over Diagnosis is a non-for-profit organization that I'm launching November 27th. And this is one of the keynote speakers right here. It's a community of hope for people that have a diagnosis and they want to find a place to push themselves to the next level. They're struggling with life after their life-altering ailment. Destiny Over Diagnosis is a place where you'll be able to get resources. It's a resource hub for the community. We want to serve each other in spirit and in truth. We want to serve each other in, bartering, the barter system. Yeah. It's not only a place where you can come and get resources, but I want it to be a great place for people to give their resources as well. Not just financially, that is great as well, but I want, if you are a stylist, I want you to feel comfortable giving me a $500 certificate and I'll be able to serve a place, be it in a place where somebody come to me and they say, hey, I've been in chemo all week. My daughter has picture day on Friday and man, I can't do their hair. I'm so tired. I'll be able to take one of those gift certificates and give it to that family so they'll be able to get their hair done. Mm-hmm. And we'll be able to keep that ball rolling. If you're a mechanic and you want to donate your mechanic services to Destiny Over Diagnosis, and we got a mom or a dad or a family that needs their van fixed so their kids can get back and forth to school. And I'll be like, okay, I have a certificate here for this mechanic service, and I'll be able to give it to that family so they can go and take it to the mechanics and get their stuff fixed, their van fixed. And it can go everywhere. Everybody can donate and everybody can get you a counselor.
That's amazing.
It's a community. Amazing. So we want to focus on 5 pillars of success. We're trying to sow the seams of success. And SEAMS is an acronym we use at Destiny Over Diagnosis. It's service, education, awareness, ministry, and support. So we'll be able to help.
Say it again. We're going to sew up some seams.
Yes, sowing the seams to success.
Showing the seams to success, that is.
Service, education, awareness, ministry, and support.
Come on now.
Yes.
Come on, you guys.
Yes.
Come on. Yes. I absolutely love Destiny Over Diagnosis. When I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, it took me about 4 maybe 5 years of having it before I met one person with it. And when I met my first person with it, I was like, you got MS too? Ooh, sit down. Tell me all about it, and I found that when you get a diagnosis, no matter what it is, you don't really know at that moment someone who has it unless it's an immediate family member. A lot of times, like I said previously, we feel alone.
Yes.
We feel alone. We feel like we're at our wits' end. I was paralyzed. And when I got out of the hospital, I was there for 6 months. When I got out of the hospital, it was around, school was about to start back. The kids had dealt with my sister during school, and now it's time for school to start back. And they have all these school giveaways. I didn't have a pencil, a book bag, or anything to send my kids to school with. I didn't have money because I was paralyzed, so I couldn't do her, and I didn't have the strength because when I got out of the hospital, I was no longer paralyzed, but I was crippled. So I went to as many of the back to school giveaways as possible. But if we had something like Destiny Over Diagnosis, I wouldn't have had to stand in those lines, trembling and shaking on a one-way cane, afraid that I was going to fall and still not get a book bag for my child after 3 hours in the sun. So I absolutely love this idea.
And what you said with support would be peer-to-peer support.
Yeah.
The S in sings, one of the S's would be support. Peer-to-peer support. You need somebody that's like you to be able to help you with you.
Yeah.
It's the Bible told us already. It says iron that sharpens iron. But you got to get around the iron. So I want to create that community for the people to be able to have that, to have a peer-to-peer support, to be able to have awareness, to be able to have the education. What is MS? What do those letters mean? Why do they exist? How does it affect you? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's important. And then where are your support? Where is your walks? Where's the MS walks? Where's the MS rallies? And that's someplace you'll be able to come to Destiny Over Diagnosis, so we'll be able to help you find your community.
Good.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'm so glad I'm already over here with Destiny Over Diagnosis.
Yeah.
And this is amazing, because when you, like I said before, when you get diseases, even within your own household, your family walk around you, tiptoe almost around you, because they really don't know how you're feeling. They making over time have better understanding on how to help you, but they still don't know what you're experiencing. So it's always a wonderful thing when you can speak to other people that know really the inside and out of what you're going through. Yeah. So I'm excited about Destiny Over Diagnosis.
Yeah, I hope to grow to get to the point where we're giving scholarships.
Yeah.
I want to, this time next year, I want to be able to give baskets to families, and I want this to be a safe place where you don't have to always, Toys for Tots is great. I'm not, no shade to Toys for Tots or any of the other organizations, but I want to be able to have another place where you can give. We, have been successful. There's a lot of people that's been successful and want a safe place to give back as well.
Absolutely.
And sometimes they're like, man, I've been so blessed. Let me make a sandwich and give it to the homeless. Yeah. Like, I want to open it up where it's more things you can do with your success. You may not have the money to go out and buy 100 book bags, but you may be a counselor. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. What is your gift? Give back your gift. That's what season we're in. Give your gifts back.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Give your gifts back. And with that being said, Sarah Mae, can you please give us some information on how we could give our gifts back? If you guys want to donate to Destiny Over Diagnosis, how do we do that?
So we're launching on November 27th. You can find right there on my page on Facebook, what is Sarah Mae, or you can look under Destiny Over Diagnosis to the page. There is the event page. You can right now donate on Eventbrite. You can buy tickets to the launch event. It's still tickets available. And it's gonna be a real good event, y'all. We're gonna have a live DJ. We're gonna have some raffles. We got some vendors in there. We have some great speakers, and it's gonna be a great event. So if you want to buy a ticket, you buy it on Eventbrite. But if you don't want to buy a ticket, you want to donate, you can donate right there on Eventbrite as well.
Now, speaking of raffles, Sarah Mae decided that, tell us about what happened, because I heard that you were blessed and you were able to give away some free tickets to Destiny Over Diagnosis launch. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so a couple bought some tickets, and they was just like, we want to give these tickets away. We want to be a blessing to someone. They can't attend because of the holidays. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know who to give it to. And so then I'm like, okay, let's do a raffle. And my sister told me, like, let's just make it fun. So I went live yesterday on my page, and I made a post, and people was able to write their names down, like tag themselves or tag somebody they wanted to go. I pulled the names and I put them all in here. All of them is in here, and I need to draw. So whoever.
So it is 7:50, and we literally only have 10 more minutes left to end this show. So let's go ahead, and before we do that, I really want to ask a question, because when we were talking initially, you were saying, and I want to go back, because I know we spoke about Destiny Over Diagnosis, and now we know how to donate. Go on Eventbrite and look up Destiny Over Diagnosis. If you don't buy a ticket, if you don't purchase a ticket, donate something to the cause. This is an amazing organization that is going to be very resourceful for anyone that is experiencing ailments within your body, that be male or female. So please don't hesitate to look up Sarah Mae on Facebook or Destiny Over Diagnosis, the event. And we have a page or something like that.
Yeah, so you can find me at you can find Destiny Over Diagnosis at Destiny Over Diagnosis on all the social media. Okay. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, we TikTok.
Whoa.
Yeah, we TikTok, and there's gonna be a lot of success stories on TikTok. So yeah.
Okay, so now that we know about Destiny Over Diagnosis, let's talk about a little love. So I know that you said that you had to learn, because of what you've experienced with life in general, you had to learn how to accept love into your life. So what was that walk like? Because I was out there trying to grab as much love as I can. I wasn't getting it, but yeah, I was trying. So tell me a little bit about it.
You know, that's I don't know. I get bubbly when I think about it. Shout out to my husband, Feva Brown. I just want to just give reference to him for a second, because he showed me how to accept love. And of course, I love my daughter, without a doubt.
Well, that's
working love. Yeah. That's operating love. Yeah. You know, I've been hurt so many times by different people, you know, people that you're with, people that you're not with, you know, family members. Hurt is hurt.
Hurt is hurt.
Walls are built regardless. And my husband really helped me take down that wall, and he helped me understand to be patient with myself. He helped me by being so patient with me. You get what I'm saying? And then I had to accept nice things happening to me. I thought nice things only happen to me when I do them.
Right.
You know, and he helped me break down those walls, and he helped me just be able to give back. Give with an open heart, because sometimes I was giving like a little reluctant because I'm got the wall up. So yeah, so now I'm able to love, hesitant. Not just him. I'm able to love my children with all of me. I'm able to love my friends in a positive way, not in a guarded space. You get what I'm saying? So that took some healing. It took some searching to do, and now I'm here, and it don't matter about rejecting. Like sometimes people ain't always able. Ain't a word, is it?
Ain't is a word.
People ain't. I'm gonna say it. People ain't always in a position to receive me. You know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. You know, I have to still be myself.
Authentic. I
have to be my authentic, organic self.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned by letting love into my life.
Come on, love.
Come on for love. And then I was able to understand that love by the love of the Lord.
Yeah.
Because I love the Lord so much, the Lord let me feel his love back. See, I thought I was just supposed to love him. I thought I was supposed to only love the Lord. I didn't realize that the Lord could love me back. And I was able to feel it in little gestures and little things, and favor and faith, and just little miracles happening, a million little miracles happening all around me, little things happening. So I just didn't understand that. So once I began to love the Lord and let the Lord love me, I was able to see love in my husband and see love in my children, and then pour love into the people and serve the people out of love. So I'm in love. I'm in love with myself. I'm in love with life. I'm in love. I'm living in love.
Living in love. I love it. Let me come over here and see what the people got to say.
Oh,
We
yeah,
got a couple
lot
more
of
minutes.
comments
We
on it.
do. We're gonna bring this thing a little bit closer.
Oh, I didn't draw.
Oh, coming back up. Let's go ahead and get ready to do this draw real quick.
Okay.
So this is a drawing for a Destiny Over Diagnosis. Let's see who name is in the pot.
Oh, I'm supposed to look. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let her do it.
Okay. Hey. What? All right, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's see. We have Sabrina Hardin.
Sabrina, I don't know if she on, but Sabrina Hardin, you got it, girl.
Sabrina Hardin.
Ugly handwriting,
but that's okay. We know that Sabrina is a winner.
Yep, Sabrina Hardin. So somebody tag Sabrina Hardin in this. You let her know that she won 2 free tickets to the Destiny Over Diagnosis launch event on November 27th at 1 p.m.
At 1 p.m. So let's look at another one. I'm looking at what they saying on over here. Everybody like, TT, baby, you know our aunties be showing up, baby, no matter where we at. Okay, so everybody just blowing kisses. I know I can't really say exactly what Laura Love Me H was saying, but she said something you had to activate inside of you. And I know this whole entire story, this whole entire time that we've been talking to Sarah Mae, this has been a whole lot of activating because this lady has really been through a lot of different things and difficult times, but has been triumphant and has made it. And she was still able to move directly towards her destiny regardless to her diagnosis.
Yeah.
She was able to accept love. She was going through things, especially back in her youth with that dyslexia and not having the right comprehension in relation to education.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because oftentimes when we're not as educated book-wise, between the educational system, oftentimes we don't feel worthy. We don't feel smart. We don't feel as if we can really do it. But life teaches us that when you are called, you are qualified.
Yes.
And regardless to whether you have the PhD, the high school diploma, or GED that the world says you need, if God placed it on the inside of you, ain't nothing the devil in hell can do to take it up out of you. So I'm so happy that you activated whatever it is that you activated and get these people some help out here, because you can get to your destiny, regardless of your diagnosis. Apologies are so powerful. Man, apologies can literally change the platform of your life. And we got an opportunity to see that talking with Sarah Mae today. I am extremely excited, you guys, about this Destiny Over Diagnosis launch. Let's see who else won.
Oh, it was only one. It was 2 tickets.
Oh, it was 2. Okay, so
2 tickets.
We have Sabrina Hardin.
Yes, tag Sabrina Hardin. If she's not on here, let her know that she won. And that's just my message. It doesn't matter what your diagnosis is. It does not kill or steal your destiny. It does not destroy your destiny. Whatever your diagnosis is, it does not cancel your destiny
or your assignment.
Oh no. So it is destiny over diagnosis for sure.
For sure. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I was about to say to destiny over diagnosis. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Reality Talk with Feva Daniels. And next week we will be having, so each week, every Thursday at 7 p.m., we have topic discussions with real people that deal with real situations but that has experienced situations within that topic frame, right? But next week is, what's that? Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Next week is Thanksgiving. So I decided to give people time to spend with their family. And I'll go live for a little bit. But next week when I go live, I want to talk to you guys. I know a lot of you guys seen that young Dolph was murdered yesterday. So I want to talk to you guys next Thursday at 7 p.m. about why he was murdered. Now listen, I'm going to tell you like this. I call the man Lil Dolph because I don't know nothing about rap. Okay. I do know a little bit, but I'm really out of tune. But I do know that this young man sparked an interest all across the world. And I know my child love him. She's 14. I know my 21-year-old love him. I even know my almost 38-year-old husband love him, you know. So he was somewhat of a, well, he wasn't somewhat, he was a great influencer within our culture. But next week, I want to talk to you guys about how words hold power. And we're going to dig a little deeper in that. And I hope you guys tune in. And I really appreciate you guys coming on. And we will talk to you guys next week. Thank you so much for Sarah Mae for coming on and gracing us with your presence. We hope to see you guys November 27th at the Destiny Over Diagnosis of event launch. Thank you guys so much. And you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And stay safe.